Here you can listen to the latest articles published on freethinkersinternational.net. Subscribe now and never miss an episode. Want to hear your story or article featured? Share it on our website, and who knows, our listeners might enjoy your story soon. I'm Sound of Liberty. I hope you enjoy this podcast. The right of free speech and peaceful protest in law and practice. In a world where the freedom to express oneself and engage in peaceful protest is hailed as a cornerstone of democracy, it's crucial to delve into the nuances of these rights. While considered fundamental human rights, they can sometimes collide with other human rights and societal interests, necessitating careful consideration of their limits. This article provides a broad overview of the legal frameworks governing free speech and peaceful demonstration in Europe and the USA, drawing from European human rights and the US Constitution. However, it's only the beginning of a larger conversation. The author invites others to join in and contribute their respective legal frameworks, perspectives, insights, and recent examples to enrich this discussion. Let's explore how these rights are practiced, the challenges they face, and how they can be upheld in pursuit of a just and equitable society. The importance of free speech and peaceful protest. Free speech and the right to peaceful demonstration are vital components of any democratic society. These rights empower individuals to voice their opinions, challenge authority, and advocate for change. In its best form, it might serve as a mechanism for holding governments accountable, promoting social progress, and fostering diversity of thought. The right of peaceful demonstration or protest is covered by the right to assembly and can be seen as an important vehicle to effectively express your opinion. As such, peaceful demonstrations provide a visible platform for citizens to explore their grievances, raise awareness about important issues, and mobilize collective action. Whether through rallies, marches, or protests, demonstrations have historically played a significant role in fostering social and political change, from civil rights movements to environmental activism. Conflicts with other human rights. Despite their fundamental importance, free speech and the right to demonstrate can occasionally collide with other human rights and societal interests. Take, for instance, the conflict between free speech and privacy rights, where the disclosure of sensitive information without consent infringes upon individuals' privacy. Moreover, certain forms of speech, such as hate speech, rightly warrant prohibition due to their potential to incite violence or promote discrimination. Similarly, demonstrations advocating for various causes may be perceived as encroaching upon the rights of others or posing risks to public safety. While individuals have the right to peacefully assemble and express their grievances, there are situations where demonstrations may escalate into violence or disrupt the normal functioning of society. In the light of these complexities, finding a delicate balance between protecting these rights and addressing legitimate concerns is essential for maintaining a just and harmonious society. It requires thoughtful consideration of the broader societal implications and careful navigation of the legal and ethical boundaries that govern free expression and peaceful assembly. Through dialogue and collaboration, we can strive to uphold these rights while safeguarding the well-being and dignity of all individuals within our communities. Understanding the limits. Under European human rights law, the right to freedom of expression is not absolute. Article 10 of the European Convention on Human Rights, UCHR, recognizes the right to freedom of expression, but it also allows for certain restrictions to protect and reputation of others, national security, public order, and morals. These restrictions must be prescribed by law, necessary in a democratic society, and proportionate to the legitimate aim pursued. Similarly, the European right to peaceful assembly is subject to limitations to ensure the rights and freedoms of others and protection of public safety, order, health, and morals. These limitations must likewise be prescribed by law and necessary in a democratic society. Some European countries may require permits for demonstrations, impose restrictions on the locations and timing of protests, or have laws prohibiting certain types of protests, such as those that incite violence or promote hate speech. In the United States, the right to free speech and the right to peaceful assembly are enshrined in the First Amendment to the Constitution, which prohibits the government from restricting speech or expression and protects the rights of individuals to gather in public spaces to express their views and grievances. The protection is broad and generally includes speech that some may find offensive or disagreeable. The US legal system, furthermore, places a high value on individual freedom of expression, even if it means tolerating speech that others may find objectionable. However, there are limitations to free speech in the US, such as speech that incites violence or poses a clear and present danger. While the US legal system generally places a high value on protecting the right to demonstration, and government authorities are limited in their ability to restrict peaceful demonstration, there still are some limitations, such as regulations on time, place, and manner of protests, as well as restrictions on protests that pose a threat to public safety or disrupt the normal functioning of society. Striking a balance. Navigating the complexities of free speech and the right to demonstrate requires striking a delicate balance between protecting these fundamental rights and addressing competing interests. It involves thoughtful consideration of the potential impacts on individuals, communities, and society as a whole. While even a staunch freethinker ought to admit that limitations on free speech and demonstrations may be necessary in certain circumstances, these should be applied judiciously and with respect for human rights principles. Yet even if one agrees that free speech can be limited, it remains a difficult discussion as to exactly who may decide what are the limits of what is protected as free speech. Moreover, besides the difficult discussion on applying limits judiciously and fair, it would seem that efforts should be made to create an inclusive and tolerant environment where diverse viewpoints can be expressed without fear of reprisal. Promotion of values such as inclusivity and diversity of thought should also embrace views you may not agree with and or disapprove of. Limiting rights in practice. Recent examples. Recent events have highlighted the challenges of balancing free speech with other rights and interests. For instance, controversies surrounding the burning of Qurans have raised questions in Europe about the boundaries of free expression and the potential harm it may cause to religious communities. In response to these developments, Denmark's parliament passed a bill in 2023 banning the inappropriate treatment of religious texts, including the Quran, the Bible, or the Torah. The law applies to both public and private settings if the act is recorded or distributed. Similarly, the public dispute between J.K. Rowling and transgender activists have sparked debate about the limits of free speech in discussions about gender identity. In response to this, Scotland enacted a hate speech law that makes it a crime to make derogatory comments based on age, disability, religion, sexual orientation, transgender identity, or being intersex. In these cases, finding common ground and fostering constructive dialogue is essential for addressing differences and resolving conflicts. By engaging in open and respectful discourse, we can navigate the complexities of free speech and the right to demonstrate, while upholding the dignity and rights of all individuals. Invitation for further contemplation. The author invites readers to ponder fundamental inquiries. Should the right to free speech be boundless, or should it be subject to limitations? If limitations are deemed necessary, who should be responsible for establishing the rationale behind these constraints, and through what process? Moreover, and on a more fundamental level, if the parameters of free speech are restricted, can they genuinely be considered as free? In addition to legal constraints, the realm of free thinking and free speech faces growing challenges from societal pressures, particularly those stemming from political correctness. The rise of cancel culture, often purportedly in the pursuit of diversity and inclusivity, has emerged as a potent force in constraining free expression. In numerous instances, we have witnessed how this cultural phenomenon can wield significant influence, sometimes surpassing governmental restrictions and creating a climate where individuals feel compelled to self-censor. This pervasive trend has led to a chilling effect on the open exchange of ideas, stifling intellectual diversity and hindering genuine dialogue. As we confront these developments, it's imperative to reflect on their broader implications for our society. We must consider how the erosion of free speech, not only through legal means, but also through societal pressures, impacts our ability to engage in meaningful discourse and foster a culture of intellectual exploration. Moreover, we must grapple with the tension between promoting inclusivity and preserving the fundamental right to express dissenting opinions and challenge prevailing norms. Only by critically examining these dynamics can we work towards creating a more robust and inclusive public sphere where diverse viewpoints are valued and respected. In subsequent discussions, the author welcomes readers to delve deeper into these issues, utilizing practical examples to further explore how these rights are embedded, protected, or limited. Together, let's foster understanding, tolerance, and mutual respect in our diverse societies. Echoing the timeless dictum attributed to a brilliant freethinker and advocate of free speech, I disapprove of what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it. The end. Thank you for tuning into the Freethinkers International podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Remember, you can explore more thought-provoking articles and stories on freethinkersinternational.net. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss an update. Got a story to share? Publish it on our website and your voice could be featured in an upcoming episode. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and stay free.